Not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom. Mom.
Hey, cool moms.
Hey, cool mom.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So, I like to start off everything just kind of riffing off of my week. Let me take a sip of bubbly before I start.
Cheers.
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 Yeah, cheers. I'm taking this sip because I'm in therapy. And and I go to therapy every Wednesday. So you guys get me on my healing train. And so I've been talking a lot in therapy. And now I'm going to be that person that's like, so my therapist said, but I am. So you all can have therapy by proxy. So I've been working things out with my therapist, one around setting boundaries, especially with work. Something that I have learned about myself that I didn't know, because I would like to think that I am a bitch in the best way, right? In the most advantageous way. But I found out I'm actually a people pleaser. And so I'm trying to set better boundaries at work and not be motivated by guilt or this feeling of, if I don't do this thing, then everything will fall apart. And I find that I don't know if that is something that has developed in motherhood or if that's something that's just innate to who I am. But I have this feeling that if I don't show up and overextend myself, then everyone will be let down and everyone will be disappointed and the whole thing will go to shit. And we know that's not true. So I didn't go to a work thing yesterday and I felt amazing. I didn't respond to a text because I don't know if you all know, but we will get to this also. I work one too many jobs as as a contractor freelancer. I have many jobs. And so one of my jobs decides to text me at 7 a.m. on a Sunday to ask me a very trivial question that absolutely could have been saved for Monday. And God bless them, I love them. But my like fight or flight response is flight. So I was just like, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna ignore the text. So an hour goes by. And then I get like a follow-up text to the text, like, hey, just let me know. And I'm like, oh my God, it's 8 a.m. I feel so violated. And I felt really resentful that now I'm expected to respond to this thing on a Sunday at 8 a.m.
No.
Right? So I did respond and I was like, oh, I was meditating. Because I kind of wanted to like bring home the point. And the baby knows, okay? I was feeling very cranky, very irritated. Oh. Very cranky and very irritated that my personal time was being infringed upon. And so I was like, I just got out of meditating. I will follow up on Monday. And so I was really proud of myself for doing this. And as I was talking to my therapist, I was trying to figure out what's the root of this thing. Like, why do I do this thing? I've always, thought myself to be this really assertive, outspoken bitch. And I realized that maybe I'm not. And the reality of it is, and the really, really hard truth that I was dealing with a lot of this year is that I knew of a time where work wasn't abundant, where I didn't have many jobs. I didn't have brands or contracts or gigs knocking on my door, and I'm trying to figure out how to balance it all. There are people in this audience who know this well. And it got so challenging for me this year. I had to like take my biggest slice of humble pie. And I think I'm gonna tell y'all what it was. I'm just trying to work myself up to it. But what really kind of allowed me to humble myself and to really check my ego was motherhood. And that, especially as a single parent, I needed to do whatever needed to be done to provide for my son. And despite all of the glittery things that I've done online, all of the brand deals, all of the work, all of the things that I've accomplished, those things don't always translate to dollars. And I think a lot of people can resonate with that. And we're gonna get into that in this conversation today. I'm really excited about it. And so I found myself at a point earlier this year where I'm like, damn, I need a job. And like, I gotta make money like tomorrow. And so my mom was like, well, why don't you just go up to Trader Joe's?
To get a snack?
Right? I said, for what, girl? For what? And listen, there's nothing wrong with working anywhere, right? There's nothing wrong with making an honest living. But I just had felt like at this point, I have done too much. I have done too much to have to do this thing. But like nothing else is I've reached out to hey girl, let me just slide you my portfolio. Let me do this. Let me do that. I've extended myself to people that I don't even want to ask a favor for. And now I've extended myself and asked favor. I saw that such and such company has this job opening. Would you mind floating my resume? Nothing had been fruitful. So y'all went to Trader Joe's. I went to the Trader Joe's in my little suburb of LA where I would shop. And I was like, okay, Elise, if nothing else, you need to show the universe that you're willing to do anything, not anything. You're willing to do a lot in order to provide, and that you're really coming from a place of humility, and like ego cannot exist in the same place that progress needs to exist. And right now at that point I was really stagnant. So y'all, I walked into that Trader Joe's and I went up to the little customer service counter and I was like, excuse me, I just was wondering if y'all were hiring. And he was like, yeah, but not now. And then he went through this whole spiel, and I knew it wasn't going to work out because I'm not going to be anywhere from like, I don't know, fucking 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. It wasn't going to happen, but I needed to show God. I was like, look, God, I will do it. Like, so now I'm ready to receive the other thing that you have ready for me. And fortunately, the other things came. I shop at Trader Joe's. I don't have to work there. And I feel very grateful for that. Not because, again, there's anything wrong with traders, but because I knew that there was a greater calling on my life and something that I needed to step into. So I got my ass serious. And now I have like 4 jobs. And I'm really tired. But I'm really grateful. And I'm really, really working between my therapist and I on the balance of feast or famine. So that's a lot of what's been happening this week, is really learning how to prioritize myself, learning that just because there was a time where I didn't have anything doesn't mean that is the space that I exist in now, and that I deserve my own time and my own boundaries with work. And that I'm a magnet for all the things that I love and enjoy and deserve. And I got my hair done, and I just feel so much better.
Yay!
So that's a lot of what has been happening this week in motherhood. So that is like maybe like a little testament, a little testimony, as they would say, for folks who you know that you're talented, you know that there is something greater for you to do, to be okay with humbling yourself, know that what we do doesn't define who we are, and yeah, that something is waiting. It's really just about having the tenacity and the patience to wait the shit out. So I pray for patience for everyone, that you'll get what you deserve, okay? Good or bad or otherwise. Speaking of tenacity and creativity and getting what you deserve, I'm really, really, really very excited. And I say this every time because I actually mean it every time. I'm really excited for this next guest to come to Cool Moms. I feel like we have been in communication for a long time.
I want to talk about that.
I know, it's weird, but this is our first time meeting today. And there's a lot of parallels, I feel like, as multi-hyphenate people. So I'm really excited to welcome to Cool Moms Puno. Puno is the founder of I Love Creatives, which is a digital trade school for creatives. Apparently I need to enroll. And she's also the executive director of I Live Creative Studio, a design agency. She's also the mother of Frankie and Arlo. Welcome to Cool Moms, Puno.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I feel great because I got to like meet some of you guys already and talk to other moms. It was really nice.
It's cute, right?
Yeah.
I look forward to
It's
cool moms.
really, yeah.
Thank you.
I
I
love
look forward to cool
community.
moms. The community is fab. Thanks, y'all.
It's really, I mean, it's dialed. Everybody's real cute.
So I know you've listened, so then you know that the first question is always, what is your sign? What does that mean to you? If you're very kooky, if you're very into it, what's your big three?
So
Okay.
I didn't know. I was like, big three? I thought like you're talking about, it was bad. I didn't know. And so I looked it up because I was like, this is your podcast.
Thank you.
And so you tell me if I got this right, because I
Okay.
definitely ChatGPT'd this before. Aries rising. Sun is Gemini.
Okay.
And then moon is Scorpio.
Oh. No.
Oh,
No, I say that.
feel-
I say that because we have the same big three, just in different
an order.
different order.
Oh,
Because I'm a Scorpio sun, a Gemini rising, an Aries moon. I know.
So you get-
I get it. It's intense.
I don't really know what I'm talking about,
But I'm gonna talk.
but okay. As like what I got from that, and I was like, wow, this has been very revealing as a mother. What these signs are, and Aries rising, from what I gather, is about being curious, is about always like wanting new experiences. And I like am that as a mother. I'm like, I don't know. They were like, oh, can you go to this kid space? I don't know what a kid space is. I was like, hell yeah, it's a new experience. That's just my default. So I am just like, I don't care where we go. Like my mom friends are like, wow, you just always want to do everything. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I was before. I'm not like this as a mom. Like but it's been very helpful. And then the Gemini, I think that's about learning and like being curious all the time. And I feel like, and being a slashy and like doing lots of, handling lots of things and loving that. And I really do love that part about being a mom. I love learning. I was like, wake windows? What is this? I was just, And then the Scorpio thing, I didn't resonate with that well because it hit a nerve.
That's why you did it. Did you not want to see it?
I didn't want to see it.
Okay.
And it's the thing that made me not want to be a mother. Because my mom, Korean. So I was just like, I didn't want to be a mom because I didn't want to get mad at my kids. Like I was like, I know I have this in me, and I know that I wasn't brought up I didn't have models. So I was very scared that I would take it out on my kids. And I still, to this morning, I was just like, I feel it. It's very hot. And so when I read the Scorpio thing, I was like, oh no. And it was like, you do this because you want a sense of control and you need to navigate your insecurities. And I'm like, shut up. So yeah, I don't know. It's probably true, but I was just like, I don't like it.
It's true. I know you. I'm gonna say it's true.
It's true, but like everybody, what mom is not like that?
Yeah.
What mom is not tested with a
Completely.
2-year-old. So.
Completely. I think the Scorpio piece for me shows. I'm not going to be the person that's always says my therapist, but literally because I'm coming off of therapy, y'all. Today we were talking about my irritability
Okay.
and the fact that I get irritable
Yeah.
easily
Yeah.
with the general public.
Right.
And I had to think about, how does this show up in my motherhood, right? And like, does it show up in my motherhood? And what I have found to be helpful, and obviously this is like, depending on the developmental age of the child and all the things, but I will just straight up tell Sergeant, I'm getting really irritated and I don't have a lot to give right now. I need you to give me some space. Period.
That's so helpful to hear. Yes.
And then he will use that back on me. I just really need space. I'm upset with you and I need some space. And I'm like, you know what?
Oh, I love that.
Okay.
I love talking to any mom that has a kid that's older than my kid because I'm like, does this work?
So far. Okay.
Yeah, so that's good.
Sometimes they will use it, manipulate you. So then you have to like prepare yourself for that.
Yeah.
For that as well.
Yeah.
But I've found that the thing you want to say to adults, like if you're in line at Costco and it's crowded and you're irritable and you want to be like, excuse me, can you back your cart up? I just need a little space.
Yeah.
But you can't.
Yeah.
You can say that to your child.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. To give them better coping skills. But yeah, the Scorpio will do it. It'll also make you really passionate and intense and really like give your all to the things that you love.
Okay.
There are a lot of like really positive aspects.
I needed this because that's the description I was reading. Also, I'm obviously Gemini too. So I think that's why I was turned off by astrology, because anytime I would say I'm a Gemini, people be like,
hectic.
yeah. They'd be like, oh, well, you seem two-faced. And I'm like, maybe
First of all,
it's
there's 10.
sleepy and not sleepy. That's my two. I don't know.
But this tracks. Okay, I love this.
It tracks, okay.
Yeah, this tracks. This
Okay.
tracks. And you mentioned your mom, so I would love to kind of just like, let's take it back. Let's start from the beginning. Your mom's Korean.
It's Korean.
Yes. Culturally, how did that impact how you grew up and then how you have approached motherhood?
Mom is Korean. Mom came to America, and I didn't know how she got to America until maybe like 5 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is
So
it because you asked and didn't, or had you not asked?
I hadn't asked because she was always like, you're not old enough.
Okay.
Kind of thing. I was like 35 when I asked her. I'm 40. But I get it. I mean, it's her story. So it's like, I get it. Now I get it. But my parents got divorced when I was 11. And my mom was she's very passionate. I wonder what her signs are now. Cause then I would probably
What's
be able
her
to.
birthday?
I'm
putting you on
September
the spot.
22nd.
Virgo?
She doesn't. I don't know. If
I love that.
Yeah, 'cause she doesn't like spreadsheets or anything. Like,
Virgo, Libra. Okay.
I love that you know that.
Yeah, I think. Shout out to you. Okay, so she's on the cusp. All right, we'll keep that in mind as you're telling.
But I didn't really like when my parents she was always like mad. She was upset. She didn't love her life. Her husband, my dad, wasn't providing the emotional support that she needed. He was very like just working. That was it. Like in our household, it was quiet. There wasn't even yelling, but it was just quiet and nobody talked. And then, so I just felt I was an only child. So it was just very boring for me.
Yeah.
When my parents finally got divorced, I was like 11 and I was like, yes, finally. Thank God. Do you not know you don't love each other? Like, this is so clear to me as an 11-year-old. And actually, I did a podcast interview with a therapist and he showed me something that I was like, I never saw before. But I ended up choosing to live with my dad.
Okay.
And when I lived with my dad transformed. He became super fit dad. He started eating new foods. Like he never ate sushi before. He like tried new foods. He wanted to do new things. He just became like, he chose happiness.
Yes.
And I witnessed, and basically that guy, Flynn, he was like, it's very rare to see, because he was only 32 at the time, to see a 32-year-old man go through a divorce and like come out of it by choosing happiness.
Yes.
And so the fact that I witnessed that, I think really like molded me and that I have autonomy and agency.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
I didn't know that though until this. Yeah.
Because
My therapist told me that.
Okay. Shout out to the therapist. We need them.
Also, I've been using ChatGPT as therapy.
Oh.
It's good.
Wait, I've been using it for a lot of things. Not there. What are the prompts?
Okay. Can I?
Okay.
Can we
Yes,
talk about this?
Let's do this.
Because like I have a 4-month-old.
Yes.
And I've never felt more disconnected from my husband until I had 2 kids.
Okay.
And so there's no time. There's absolutely no time. So I couldn't even go to the hour therapy session. And I'm also like crying at 2 a.m. when I'm nursing. So, or when I was like feeding the baby. And so I needed to spiral now. Like I was like, this is the only window I have. I can't wait. So I would tell the GPT, I'd be like, all right, can you role play as my therapist? And can you like, I'm going to spiral to you right now and tell me what is wrong. What is going on here? So I would just spew. I would spew like things that I would never actually tell my therapist. Because it was crazy. It was like, like mean. It was so mean.
Oh my gosh, because you censor yourself a bit with the therapist.
I totally censor myself.
Me
and I
too.
was so angry. I was so mean. And it was so in the moment.
Yes.
Which when therapy, you have time like to like, okay, I was being a bitch, you know,
Yeah.
like, but this time it was real, blah, blah,
Yes.
blah. And so what I loved about it is I would be like, okay, well then what happens if we get divorced? Let's talk about a plan. And then it was like, okay, if you're going to get divorced, you need to think about this. And I was like, I don't like doing this. I don't want a divorce. And then I could hard stop it. I could hard stop the GPT. I'd be like, no, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Let's switch. But you can't really do that with your therapist.
No, because they're going to be like, no, let's explore that.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't want to explore that.
No. The moment has passed. I just was spewing. Like,
yeah, I'm over it.
I'm over it.
Yeah. And then this is my favorite part. I needed because I hadn't like talked to my husband about my issue for 3.5 months because we were both in it. I understood why we were disconnected. I wanted to give him that, but I was building resentment because of it. And I was like, like I need to talk about it. But I was so mad and I had too many feelings about it because it was 3 months of layered emotions that I needed a succinct script to like just come to the conversation with. So then we workshopped it. And then like I was like,
we as in you and ChatGPT.
Me and ChatGPT.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, based off of how I just spiraled to you, can you give me a script to him that would help me resolve this? And it was like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, shorter. I needed to be shorter. And then it was like, and I was like, no offense, it's a little robotic, but can you make it more casual, like a little less blamey?
Yeah.
And then I would use words like that, like blamey. And then it was like, anyways, I ended up using that script and it was great. I didn't use it word for word, but it was like enough for me to have a plan.
Yeah.
And not like come at him and like, it was very open. It was a great script.
Puno, you're a genius.
ChatGPT therapy is sick.
This is amazing. This is also terrifying because therapist is one of those jobs you're like, AI will never replace a therapist.
Well, I feel like therapists will help you give language and understanding in a human way that you can't do maybe with ChatGPT, but I needed a script. It was very like, I needed to delegate like what this thing is, and it was helpful for that.
Okay, how did the conversation go?
It was great.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I told him, I was like, it's not even about big things at this moment. It's literally like when we were co-parenting. Mm-hmm. So I was like, when we're in the house, every time we pass each other, we need to acknowledge each other, give each other a kiss, hold each other. Like literally it was so small that I just needed like recognition of that. And then he suggested, because in the script it was open-ended.
Yes.
He suggested we'll do an emotional check-in every day. I got a good guy.
Yeah.
I got a really good guy. Yeah.
Where you find him?
College. Texas.
All right, it's too late. Okay, it's fine. That's fine. Wait, no, that's really good. I was actually going to ask you, how does AI show up in your professional life? Yeah, it's in my cards, but I wasn't expecting
therapy. Yeah,
I wasn't expecting therapy. I really love that. Before you all had children, was that a conversation you had about how you wanted to approach parenting, and then had you kind of planned or prepared or opened up the conversations on how parenting may affect your relationship with one another?
Yes, because we had all of our friends had kids before us. So I was like, because I basically had my daughter at 38 and I'm 40. So everybody else had kids. And then I was like, oh yeah, I saw one of my friends, she had 4 kids.
Ooh.
And I was like, I was just like, how do you do this?
Why would you do that?
And one thing that was huge was when she would like take a break, go out with her friends, she wouldn't check in on her husband. She didn't even prepare anything. It was like full trust.
Yes.
And she's happy in her, I don't know. I mean, for me, she seems happy in her marriage. Then I had another friend in that same scenario who was like controlling about like, oh, he's not doing this, and I made this, but they didn't, like, he didn't probably even look at that. I don't know. It was just a lot of like nitpickiness.
Yes.
And I realized at that point, I was like, oh, wow, that's the root of it. Of like, not just the disconnectedness, but the like hatred. And so I was like, okay, I need to at least come in with full trust. But I'm also really lucky because like my husband is like, he made a spreadsheet for breastfeeding schedule. Like he's
my God.
Yeah, he's very
That's great.
Yeah. So but I was just telling these guys, like, I didn't know, I never realized the gender gap until I became a mom. Like
How so?
between my husband and I. Because you're a mom. Like I didn't, but you know, it sounds so obvious right now.
Only because he sounds fab, but
He sounds fab. He researches bottles. He was like, Boone bottle. That's my go-to. There's somebody here who has a Boone bottle too. Yeah, right. Like, it was just like a lot. Yeah, there's just a lot there. But then I realized when I was a mom, like, oh no, like I'm the boob. I'm the mom.
yes.
I'm also the mom. Like,
Yes.
there's no one's gonna, like, I am mom. That's like, I don't know, you know. I don't know
Yeah.
how else to explain it, but
like, you can't get around it.
you can't get around it.
I've got to be here and I've got to be responsible and like
And
maybe it was
it's
in
not
me.
balanced.
Yes.
It's not.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I think if we're seeking balance, we're seeking something unrealistic. I think there is reciprocity, there is communication, there is understanding, there's forgiveness.
Yeah.
But like balance in no partnership, in a business
That's
partnership.
true. We're also in a business together.
Oh.
So that's interesting. She goes, the damn. We're in a business together, but the way we handle that, we couldn't handle how we raise kids because we actually found out that it's better for us to completely separate everything. So we don't even have meetings together. We it's complete trust. We talk about some things, but for
What
the most
business
part,
is this?
I Love Creatives.
Okay, you all do that together. Aha. Okay.
Yeah, but like it's a very bold line of like.
Do you talk shop at home?
Yeah, but not really. Not because we're trying to have a boundary about it, but also because like we literally have split our roles, so there's no reason to actually talk about stuff.
Got it.
It's very rare.
I love that.
Yeah, my aunt told me to do that.
Shout out to her.
Yeah. She was like, do it. She's like, you need a CFO, you need a CEO. And you need to like make sure you have distinct roles and like write it down on paper. And she told us to do that.
How many people do you employ now? What's the team like?
It's like 10-ish. 10-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk about scaling, but before we get there, because you're a multi-hyphenate and you had a background, you were like VP of PR
No.
at an agency. Is that true?
No. I was like an art director at an agency, but I was a UX director at Call of Duty.
Okay.
So that's probably like the last job that I had.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you also YouTube vlogger.
A little bit. For a second.
There's content.
There's a lot of content.
There's a lot. I was like, I don't know if it's for a second. I saw many videos.
Yes, there's a lot of videos. Oh my God, I haven't seen those in a long time.
I watched.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did my
my God.
Googles. I had to do my research for sure. I watched. Where did you went to South America? You went to Peru.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that one yesterday. Yeah, it was super cute.
I need to rewatch that one. That was fun.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. You also had one about how many things you do in a day.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
taking you back.
Wow.
So you've done the YouTube thing. You've done the YouTube vlogging thing. Obviously, podcasting and radio hosting. Music? Were
No
you
music.
singing online?
No.
Puno, are you sure?
No, I did. I made a funny song called Canned Meat about my cat. That was just a joke.
There's a lot of jokes that are also serious and good, though.
Yeah.
But I think overall, it feels like, well, two parts. It feels like you're an archivist, right? In many ways.
yeah.
And so I'm curious about, do you know where the root of that comes from? This desire, this maybe innate desire to want to document, archive life.
Shit memory. I'm not even like, I have like, when people talk about Big Brother, I'm like, it sounds great. Just because I forget things a lot.
Okay.
And then now as a mom, like I've forgotten so much. So
Yes.
it's more of like, I forget, like I'm the friend where everybody would be like, Puno, do you remember? And I'm like, no, I don't. But I think that I feel like that has helped me because I'm always experiencing new things like I can watch a movie again and I just don't remember what happened in that movie.
Same.
But I'm like, wow, the Little Mermaid finds the prince.
Who knew?
The crab helped her. Who knew that the crab was going to help her? He was very against her in the beginning.
What platform have you found that resonates the most in terms of storytelling, archiving, sharing?
Ooh. Can I say website?
Of course.
Website.
Website.
I don't know if anybody remembers like Z Frank back in the
No.
day. So, and then even like microsites back in the day. I loved building worlds on websites and building and attracting people because of what that website was about. Like I genuinely remember because I was in advertising, and the time that I was in advertising, that was when interactive just started. This was before iPhone.
Yeah.
This is pre-app. And then I went into like traditional agency, and I did like TV, print, blah, blah, blah. And I went back to digital because I knew I loved making websites. Like I love making spaces on the internet. It's it's great. It's really cool. It works.
This is how we connected.
Yeah, exactly.
This is how Puno and I connected a year ago. It's been a long time. When y'all see that Cool Moms finally has a website, it is because of Puno.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
It is a long time coming.
It's okay. Take your time.
It's fine.
Take your time. You already you did the harder thing.
What's the harder thing?
Building this community, doing the podcast,
true.
all of that. The website's the easy thing.
Yes. Do you want to talk about how we connected or this roundabout story?
With Sarah?
Sure. No. Or just, I think the point of this is really that the internet is really interesting and powerful. Puno and I got connected through a mutual friend on another endeavor that was gonna happen. It may still happen. Maybe, I don't know. Sometimes I'm superstitious about talking about things before they happen.
Sure, whatever.
All right. Whatever. Anyways.
I'm going to make the website, you know?
Yeah. I had a role in this. No, I was planning to do this conference, which will still happen in some iteration of that. And that's how I got connected with Puno. And we started building out this website. And what year is it? 2024? 2023? Was it 2022? It low-key might have been. Was it 2022? I don't know. It's been a long time coming. Say all that to say, y'all, we have been talking and emailing and texting and corresponding since then and just met today.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Just met now. Which I think,
that's totally fine with it. I love it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I also think it's really interesting. Were you like a MySpace coder? Were you a MySpace person?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love that websites is your thing, and I'm being a multi-hyphenate, as someone who also has a prominent Gemini placement, I think what is challenging about that is that you're constantly evolving, and that we kind of exist in a space, a society, a culture where it's like, find your thing. Mm-hmm. Find your thing and do your thing.
Yeah.
And you have continued to evolve in your creativity. It seems to be a really limitless practice. And now you found yourself as an educator as well.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
How did you find yourself teaching?
I didn't, man, I really didn't think I was going to be a teacher or an educator. That wasn't like my goal. I think like so when I worked at Call of Duty as a UX director, and I was really burnt out. The video game industry is wild. I was like, wow, we work a lot. It's like tiring. And there's a lot of politics there. So when I quit my job, I was very like, I knew I wanted to build a business, but I knew I wanted to build a lifestyle business. And I didn't really understand what that meant. I just knew that I didn't want to build a startup. I didn't want to grind.
Right.
I didn't want to like, I wanted it to be for me. And I think that's very Gemini too, is like, you just want to build stuff that
I want
suits
to do
you.
my own thing.
I want to do my own thing. Yeah. Sorry, I keep touching this. But yeah, so then I was like, okay, how do I build a lifestyle business? And the main questions I would ask myself are, what are my deal breakers? And what are my deal makers? Because what I realized when I quit my job, I was too much of a generalist.
Yes.
Like I'd be like, I don't like 9-to-5 jobs. Like just, that whole world is now gone to me. And I didn't like look at the gray area. I didn't look at the nuances of that. I didn't. And there's so much to learn from the nuances of that about yourself.
Right.
Just to cast a general, like, I don't like 9-to-5s was like not helping me understand what I wanted in a lifestyle business. So I started like really just looking at the details and asking myself, like, what are these deal breakers? What are the deal makers? And knowing that I was also a UX designer, so we like learn about iteration, and it's always about you're just constantly changing. So I just never like I tried to put so much pressure on myself about, okay, is the thing I'm going to do going to be the most passionate thing that I ever do, and it's going to fulfill me for the rest of my life? Like, I was like, I'm done with that question. That question was too hard.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't figure it out.
Yes.
And it was very stressful. And I was like, I did everything. I did road trips. I did whatever to answer that question, and it never came. So I realized, like, I need to build this business plan of a business based off of like every day. And I need to change it every day. And I think like because of that, everything that came in my way was an opportunity. And one of those things was teaching people how to use Squarespace.
Yes.
It wasn't like, oh, that's my business plan, I'm going to do online education. It was literally like, I need to hire this person because I was freelancing. Nobody knows how to do this. I put a job out there. Anyways, the way that it happened was just not a business plan. I think that's the business.
Sorry, I want to kind of reiterate this because I think that is so important, and really it was like an unlock for me. There is such an internal and external pressure that we put that's like, I got to find the thing.
The thing
that I'm willing to do forever. What the hell?
What the hell?
And I think even being able to say, how do I iterate on this on a day-to-day basis or reiterate on this on a day-to-day basis? What does it look like today? What might that look like tomorrow? What am I really good at? What am I feeling really drawn to?
Yeah. And I feel like what I learned through that was being able to be very self-aware of what is happening around you, what my limitations are of that day, what I really want to do, what I like. And that self-awareness and that self-agency has been so powerful for me. And I think also this is the Aries side where I'm like courageous. Like I don't really care about risk too much. I feel like as I've now, like, so we teach a lot in our courses, and I see a lot of people that want to change their lives because they take our courses because they want to pivot their career.
Yes.
And the main thing that everybody like is doing is they're just overthinking it all. That's all. I don't even know, like, it's every single person that is like, is just they're just in their own way. And it's like, I don't know how else to work through that besides like showing them little wins.
Yeah.
So like something that we do at the Squarespace design course is like we show them like, okay, this, you're going to make a website. That's like one of the projects. So we just tell them, okay, you like show me what things that you like. And the hardest thing for people do in design is to like have things that they like and then make the thing in their head because of the things that they like, because their taste is so good and they're not good yet.
Yes.
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 So like I need to show them that they can do that in the smallest way.
Yeah.
And then when I can do that, they build their confidence. And that confidence is like so key.
How have you gotten out of your own way? Like, what did that moment look like for you? Or a series of moments?
Oh, so many. The main thing was when I remember like I was like, I want to start a business when I quit my job. And I remember like, I'm going to make time. I'm going to sit on my couch and I am going to figure out this whole thing. And then I was just like, I looked at my journal and I was like, this is crazy. Like, I just need to actually do it.
Yes.
Because I was like so unhappy and I was like I was worrying. I think that was the big thing. I realized I was worrying and I was emotionally, I remember like I wanted to watch Netflix and like eat cookies and stuff after because I was so emotionally drained from just like trying to do that exercise that was not fruitful. And that was when I realized like this approach
ain't it.
This approach is not it. So I needed to just do. And so ever since then, I've just always like defaulted to doing.
Just do it. Oh my God, Nike was right. Fuck.
But kind of.
You kind of just need to like get moving.
But that's like even someone who takes our courses because they're like, I'm interested in graphic designing, and I'm like, but they're like, but I don't know like if I want to be a graphic designer. I'm like, well, you just kind of have to do it a little bit to know if you like it.
Yes.
That's it.
That's it.
And that was the other thing about like with our kids now, right? Because our kids, we know college is not right for every career.
Right.
So now it's like, how do we educate our kids? How do we allow our kids to experiment and find what they want? And I believe that like it starts more at a root of being resourceful, like just not having to put so much weight on what do you want to do for the rest of your life, you know?
Because it's not going to probably be one thing, especially the way this economy is set up.
Yeah.
You better be malleable.
Right.
And know how to evolve.
I think the only issue with it is like, I do have some friends that seem fleeting with like, they're always doing new things.
Yeah.
And you're just like, we kind of need to try a little harder.
You might want to lock in for a little while.
A little bit longer on that. I think us as parents, we do have to put those guardrails of like, well, you do need to like suck it up.
Yes.
Through the learning curves, through the frustrations.
Yes.
Because you do need to know if it really is the thing that you don't want to do.
That's a big lesson that I've learned with Sargent. I signed him up for jujitsu with his bestie. And I'm like, you're going to love it. You think you're a ninja all the time. That's how you act at home.
Yeah.
You're going to love this thing. And we got the outfit. We went to the class.
You saw FK too.
And he was like, hand-to-hand combat? People are going to put their hands on me? Absolutely not. I like when this is a one-way street. I don't want to do this. So I'm like, no, we got to keep, you got to stick to a thing. Let's keep going. And then finally one day, he literally like walked away from class and sat down and looked out the window, like really pensive. And I said, okay, you don't like this.
Yeah.
This is clearly not for you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you the space to be like, fuck jujitsu. I want to go do arts and crafts. Cool.
Yeah.
So we're still trying to find our thing. But I also think there's a lesson in, maybe we'll call it failing, for lack of a better word, but like, what has failing taught you?
Right. I don't know. I guess failing to me is more just like a rut-row. It's not really. I'm probably that asshole that just doesn't like.
Believe in failing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just like, it's like, whatever. It's not that bad. But I think I've just done enough of those things that I know, like, it's fine.
Yes.
It's fine. Like my week last week was crazy. I feel like if a new business person saw what my week was like last week, they'd just be like, whoa, this.
Wait, what happened? Tell me like a highlight or
like
a low light.
Like, client was unhappy, had to make a really hard call. 2 people wanted to leave. Where like one person was overworked. Like it was just a lot.
Yes.
Just like boom, 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 boom. But I don't know. I'm like, yeah, it's fine.
It's eclipse season.
Yeah. Okay.
That
there we
means
go.
something.
There you go.
Yeah. It means something.
Yeah.
Shit is
So everybody's dealing
going
with
haywire.
it.
Everyone is dealing with
everyone's
it, and now we have to deal with everyone and ourselves.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's fine.
That's fine. But money makes things easier.
Yes.
And money is important and there's a value to it. And so I read in an interview somewhere that you went from maybe making like $40,000 to scaling and making 6 figures as a creative. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about scaling, and we can talk about it in a really like tactile way, but also just maybe in an energetic way of what did that look like to make that shift from 40 to 6 figures? Was there that one brand deal where you were like, fuck yeah, this is it. This is turning the table and I'm never going back? Like, what was that moment like? What did scaling look like?
Spreadsheets.
Oh,
It was a spreadsheet.
that's not the answer I want.
Ah.
Okay. Let's get into the spreadsheets.
So I don't know if like so one time I heard about like a financial forecaster and I was like, whoa, that sounds great. Financially forecast my life, please. And then I kind of looked into what that was, and it was like a P&L that like looked up the next 5 years basically.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, you're still inputting bullshit, but it's numbers you can work towards.
Right.
So there was a point in my life where I was like, I need to embrace spreadsheets because I had finally done that for my personal finance. Because I had credit card debt. I was like, I had credit card debt. So I didn't understand what that meant. And then once I finally like understood what compound interest was and like how all of that stuff, then I was like, oh shit, like I need to learn how to use spreadsheets.
Yes.
And so then when I did that, basically it's just been able to answer a lot of questions I have about money. Like it's just kind of as simple as that. And I was able to like think of comps of different ideas that I have in my head about how I would like make money. And then I would put it in a spreadsheet and I'd be like, does that actually net to whatever? Is that net to a 6-figure salary? Like, are the costs there? And some of the costs I didn't know. So I needed to figure out how much those costs were. So then I had to have those conversations with people and ask how much things would cost. So it really wasn't until I paid off my credit card debt. And then after that, realizing like that understanding numbers is honestly the game. It's like, it is the business. It is how business works.
Yeah.
It sucks to hear.
It's what we need to hear. It is what I need to hear. I was hoping there was some magical, sparkly, I got a manager and then she made everything happen for me sort of answer.
I mean, like, you can make a spreadsheet, but then you got to do the work to get the spreadsheet.
Right.
So to answer your question about, like, how did you go from that to, I definitely had a growth angel in my life. So, like, so there's 2 ways I've made money. Like, one was through our agency. And then the other way was through I Love Creatives, which is a digital product at the end of the day.
Yes.
So the agency 100% was because I knew 2 people that just happened to know everybody and like just is like that girl, like you, like just, hey, you should meet this person. You should meet this person. She was that. There's 2 people in my life that were just that. And they probably made up, I don't know, like 50% of my referrals in the first year.
Right.
And then so like that was like huge. And then for the product side, I think it was about making a product that people actually wanted.
Yes.
So that first one was that Squarespace design course, because I had put an ad on our own website because I was freelancing at the time and I needed a designer to help me. And I got like 100 applicants to be a junior Squarespace designer, which is like, what? Like, that is so specific. And also I said it was $20 to $30 an hour, and 100 people applied to that. But then when I looked at all of their websites, I was like, only maybe 2 people were actually what I needed. Everybody else was making templates, which is a Squarespace website.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, okay, if 98 of these people want to do this job, like maybe 98 people want to learn from me and how I'm like, how I figured this out. So, and then, so then that's where, and now I think we've had like 3,500 students take that class.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's so small. It's so like such a little thing, you know, it's not even like a big course. It's like a
but like really impactful, because who doesn't need a website?
Right. Everybody needs a website.
I need a website. Everyone needs a website.
That was also a revelation.
That's really good. Was there a specific, Mom, if you want to, you also, anyone can go back here. Also, if you need to take a beat, feel free to take a beat behind us. Was there a deal, a negotiation, a check that you knew things would never go back to the way that they were?
Oh, yeah.
What was it?
There was one where it was, okay. So for the product side, the first time I realized that was, so I had thought of I Love Creatives, and I had already had another business idea. So that business idea, I Love Creatives, needed to make money immediately because I was already like, I'm done with experimenting.
Yeah.
So then I like figured out what was the lowest cost or the lowest price I could charge, which was $20 an ad. And then I just did that. Mm-hmm. It took 6 months to even like make anything, and it still to this day is not our main revenue source, but it made me realize like you have to put a price on things that, you know? And so that was like my first lesson. And then the second lesson was when we were doing our agency, I had a client came to us with what they wanted. They wanted a new website. And then I was like, no, they actually need this in my head. But before I would just be like, okay, yeah, you said you wanted this. So then there was the first time that I was like, I think you need all of this. Mm-hmm. So then it went from like a $10K budget to $100K.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, I think you need all of this and we can do this for you.
Sick.
Yeah. Not everybody has that money though. Like I'm going to say
Going from convincing someone that I know you wanted to come in at 10K.
Yeah.
But I need $100,000.
I've had that same conversation with multiple clients and it doesn't always land.
Yeah.
So, because they just don't have the money.
Right.
But sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. So you got to try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just not be afraid to say the thing. Not be afraid. And I think that's ultimately what it boils down to a lot in terms of scaling, especially as a freelancer, a contractor, an entrepreneur, is having the gusto and the wherewithal to say, hey, actually this costs this amount.
Right.
And being okay with someone saying no.
Yes.
And then also being ready to step up when someone says yes.
Yes.
Because I can imagine from also experience, when you have a fatter check on the line, there's a different level of pressure to perform and show up.
Yes.
At least for me, it's like, oh my God, can I do 50K work? I don't know. It was $5,000 3 weeks ago. Shit.
Yeah.
Is it 50K?
Yeah.
Have you dealt with any of those kind of like impostery?
Doing that right now. Every day. Are you kidding me? I'm always
But
going,
you keep pushing.
Yes. And I'm also like, I also know that if I really mess up, and I have messed up before, or like I've delegated it out and it didn't work out, I'm totally fine with giving the money back.
Yeah.
Like I've done it.
Yeah.
It was not easy. It was very, that was humbling. I remember when I was like, it was very recent, and I had to have this conversation, and like my baby was crying and my toddler was screaming, and I was on the call like having to like, hey, yeah. And then afterwards I was just like, fuck. It was so bad. I was like, ugh. Yeah.
But it always works itself out. Like those are teachable moments. But I also want to talk about the fact that in the same vein of like you keep trying and you keep doing and you keep exploring new avenues of your creativity. Drops in book ad. Bes Bes Buddies. Oh my God. Look, I'm going to show it to everyone.
Okay.
To the camera. Bes Bes Buddies. Talk about your book. You have a book.
I know. It's crazy.
Puno just showed up and was like, hey, I have something for you. And then handed it to me. And I was like, this is a very cool book.
Oh, thank you. Okay. So the illustration I didn't do, but in our course, I was in game design. So I like really love character animation and blah, blah, blah. So like that's the Squarespace design course like portal. And so I just was like, let's reuse this for a children's book because it's like it's so like cute. Yeah, it's cute. But I just wanted a book, honestly, that was very relatable to my toddler. Like her day, she just eats, she goes to the playground, she touches a ball, and then she gets tickled at night. Like I just wanted that's all. I wanted her to be like, that was me too, So that's what this book is. It's just like the everyday moments.
I mean, by the time this comes out, people will probably know.
Oh, it's out now.
It's out in the world. Have you put this on the gram? Is this on the internet?
No.
Okay.
That's like the sample that they sent me. Yeah.
I'm honored.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, you had 2 books. Like I was like, I need to ask her so many questions.
I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. Yeah. But this is very, very cool. Have you read this to your kids yet?
Oh, all the samples, all the prototyping it's so good.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. This is so cool.
There's a part in there where I say the tickle monster comes, and it's like my kid's favorite part. Because I just like tickle her and she's like, yeah.
This is also a really cool way, and I think it's such an advantage being a creative of how motherhood can show up in your work and evolve your work.
Yeah.
What are some of the ways that you think motherhood has really impacted you creatively and maybe even in your business as well?
Education.
Yeah.
1,000%. Like I've never felt like the mandate to help people just chase whatever dream that they have. Like it has been so important to like do that now because I don't really believe in college. Like for me, it didn't work out. So that's why I'm just like, there needs to be another alternative. And like, I want to figure out what that is.
When you say it didn't work out, what does that mean?
Like I just went to college. I didn't really think through it. I got a marketing degree. It didn't really help me. Yeah. I got to meet my husband out of it. There's like definitely,
Baby, let me tell you. As somebody out here in these streets, that is valuable.
Yes, no, I know.
It is a challenge.
Yeah, I saw my friends. She like started a parent dating app.
Oh,
and we were like looking through, and I was like, ooh.
Can I tell you something kind of messed up? I don't want to date other parents.
What? No, I don't. I mean. Well, I don't know. It kind of makes sense.
Hey, what? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is like off kilter a little bit, but I'm hoping this will resonate with someone. The thing about it is like, I know my situation. I know my co-parenting setup. I think I have really good boundaries. I think we have worked our way to a really healthy co-parenting relationship. We also live far enough and close enough, right? So I'm not in the minutia of the day-to-day. I have no idea what's happening in his life. He is living, he is breathing, he is blessed.
Trust.
Same, right? But when you have to date another parent, that might not be the case. And I have experience in dating another parent. It's like, oh, I know she goes to the gym at this time. Or like all of these things where now my life is now integrated into this whole other person. It's less about the kids. It's less about the kids. It's more about the co-parenting of it all. And like having now we are 3 instead of the 2 of us, or maybe 4 if they have a partner. And I think that's something that I'm pretty disinterested in.
Complicated.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
I don't really want to do it.
Yeah.
I'm out the game.
I don't even know.
Yeah, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. Stay blissful, stay married. Please keep going to ChatGPT for the therapy. You don't want to come back here. You don't want to come back here. I'm really, really excited about the book. Congratulations
Thank you.
on the book.
Yeah.
I kind of hate this question, but I think it's necessary, and I also kind of love it. Like, what else do you want to do? What are you curious about?
Okay, because I just turned 40.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, what questions do I need to answer right now? I think I still want to be a cartoon. Like, that's always been a dream.
Okay.
Since I was a kid, I wanted to be a cartoon. Like, I always messed around with the mics. I like love talking into a mic. I love doing voices.
Me too.
It's so fun. It's so fun.
My happy place.
Like
Yeah.
when people say I hate hearing my voice, I'm like, ugh. I'm like, yeah. But I don't know. I figure maybe it'll be through this.
Yeah.
They make cartoon. Maybe
Totally.
I don't know. But there's that. I want to like laugh more. I like when I was really drunk. One of my friends told me this story about me where she's like, you were wasted, but all you kept screaming to me was, I just want to sit and laugh. And like, that's so true.
I don't
Like,
want to be like, oh my God, me too, but literally, I just want to
laugh.
Like a time.
So I don't know what that means, but I know that that's like the brief.
Because you took comedy classes.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did stand up once.
When did you know you were funny?
My aunt was I'm Filipino. You know, like Filipinos are funny.
Can you sing?
Can I sing?
Can't feel. Is that a weird stereotype?
No, I guess not.
Because Filipinos can like sing. Y'all be
Like I
singing
can karaoke.
down.
I can karaoke.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not like Leah Salonga and like I can't.
Yeah.
You know, belt. Although there was that app that like will. Yeah, you can sing and then it will like, what songs can you never sing and it'll like change it so that you can sing?
I can sing none of them. 0. No one needs to hear me sing, but I will.
Okay.
I will.
You know, I
will.
mean, like same. I'm just like, whatever.
So yeah, I see that. Maybe it's this combination of like laugh, have a good time, build these worlds. You totally will have a cartoon.
That's the goal.
I love that.
Yeah, whatever. Even if it's small, I'll have a hoot out of it, you know?
Well, Puno, I really, really appreciate your time, your energy.
Thank you,
your
guys.
laughter.
Thank you all.
This has been fantastic, and we will open it up to Ask a Cool Mom next. Tell me your name, where you're from, and your question for Puno.
Hi, my name is Stefania. My question to you is, so motherhood is like the biggest mirror that anyone could hold up to you. Are you seeing anything in your children that you're like, whoa, should fix that?
Ooh.
I know it's early, but it also starts
Yeah, the
very
4-month-old,
early.
I don't know yet.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
your daughter.
Well, like, he poops weird. No, the daughter, yeah, it's the anger. I think it's the same thing, but it's also the toddler anger.
Yeah. The anger is real.
The anger is real. And I'm like, is this, I don't know. I don't have perspective because I'm not around a lot of kids during their worst.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like, is this everybody? I'm assuming it is, but then when you're like, your kid is so sweet and then they just turn on you like real quick. I'm like, you know, I don't believe it.
What's happening?
Yeah. And then I do think it's me. Like, I'm like, oh, is that me? Or I'm like, did she see that from me somehow?
Yeah, I was going to say possibly and probably. I see it show up with Sergeant in like certain perfectionism where he'll do something. And I'm like, I love that. And he's like, yeah, but it's not perfect. I'm like, oh, shit. where did you catch me doing that?
Yeah.
But it's also, I think, the consciousness, the awareness of it, and then they're early, so we can reroute the path.
I think so.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, like right now she's super frustrated by like potty training, but I don't know. It just seems
Yes,
very.
it's fine.
Yeah, okay.
That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. She's flipping the toilet. It's fine. It's fine.
You know, like I mean, but also I did not know that potty training was every hour. No one like I thought it was just
Wait,
the
what do
3
you mean
days.
every hour?
Oh, I'm just saying like like you do the 3 days and then after that you got to take them frequently.
Oh, yeah. And you got to keep the potty in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
like
didn't
pull
know
over.
that.
That's fair.
And then you have to like convince them to go to the bathroom like every hour.
Yes.
Which is not
Before there's an accident.
right.
Yeah.
That's not
Sergeant pooped behind a plant in our house, and I didn't know until I knew. So I was like, where is that shit coming from?
that actual shit.
Yeah, the actual shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do I have anyone else?
Ooh.
What advice would you give to a mom who had to restart her career, her creative career, and how can she balance starting over while managing motherhood and still stay inspired?
That's the question.
I'm going to be honest, I think it's so hard. I think it's really hard but you know what though? I have had a lot of students that I actually have a lot of moms that take our courses because they're like, I need to get my stuff together for my kid. And that motivation enough is usually how it happens. But it is that like, you know how we're like always wrestling with self-care and mental health and all of that? Kind of have to sacrifice a little bit of that. Don't you think? Like
Completely.
you have to like not get enough sleep in order to do that part in the beginning or
Yes.
depending on if you have help or not. But yeah, I don't know. I also feel like it gets easier when they get older because at least I don't know because he's a little older. But with my daughter, it definitely got easier when she turned 1. Yeah, you like that. You love the flowers.
are cool. It does get easier when you get older.
Yeah.
When they get older and they go to school and they begin to have their own lives and like you have time during the day to breathe and think and that sort of thing. It's okay.
You want this one?
Take the orchid.
Yeah,
Take the orchid.
This
Where
one's
did that
better.
one go?
I'm all like, this one's better. You gotta get this.
That one's cool. That's a cool flower. Yeah. I don't know if there's any.
It's okay.
Get that orchid out of here. Who the hell said take that orchid? Thank you. Anyone else? Come on. Oh my gosh, we're gonna watch these kids grow up right here on Cool Moms. I love it. I was bringing my baby everywhere too.
I love that you have your friend here that is down to.
She's the coolest mom. Actually, I want to meet you too because I really want her to be the next speaker on the next. Yeah.
Do it.
Yes. Okay. So I'm a new mom, and like my background is creative, but I think my question is like after having like your first child, did you find that you I don't know, I guess like didn't have like that creative like passion or like push anymore? Like for me, I'm just like mom mode where I'm just like, I don't know, I don't feel like
Doing it right now.
yeah, I don't exactly.
Yeah. I was actually asking, she's not here anymore, but there was another mom here and I asked her like, when did she think she was going to go back before she had a baby? Like when did you think you're going to go back to?
I like even now, like I'm just like full-time mom.
Yeah.
Like my partner, he's kind of been like just holding it down, and which is great because it's allowed me to kind of really just focus on like the baby.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Even now, I'm like, I don't know, because I
Like
don't
it.
have that. I don't want to say I don't have the passion anymore, but I just don't have like that creative like nudge right
Yeah.
now. It's just mommy mode. So I don't know,
I
but when it comes back,
I definitely okay, so I thought pre-pregnancy that I was gonna go back in 3 months.
yeah,
And then for my first, it was definitely not till 6 months where I would take meetings.
yeah,
And then I didn't really feel creative until she went to school because I needed the time and the
yeah,
space.
yeah, yeah.
But that's also a luxury. So I feel like until I could have the time and space, I do it. But I also was like, damn it, I'm missing out on this time.
Yeah.
So that's just a really hard choice. But it's also not that long.
Okay.
Like you're gonna be creative forever. Like look at you, I can tell you're a creative girl. Like it's just gonna be there all the time anyways. But I feel like we do feel this pressure
Yeah.
to like keep it up.
To keep going. Yeah. Yeah.
But like it is like they're just gonna be babies and then at some point they're gonna have to go to school.
Yeah.
So that's how I felt about it. Why did I have a second? Because when I had the second, I'm like, here's an example. I love getting a little high and like coming up with ideas.
Yeah. That was my.
That's my creative spark.
That was yeah.
Literally, it's so fun. But then I like to write my ideas down, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna act on this. And a lot of those ideas actually became very fruitful for me. But I haven't even been able to act on it because I'm so with my kids,
Yeah.
which I'm actually totally fine with because he's very cute and snuggly. And I realize like I love newborns and I like just want to snuggle with him. So, and like nobody else gets this. Like I'm the only person who gets to snuggle with this guy right now. So like, yeah. So I get the choice too.
But it comes back.
Yeah.
Creative,
It's
like
it's just time that brings it back.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does anybody else feel that way? Like it's time, right? Like if you just have a little bit more time by yourself, it comes back. Yeah. Yeah.
thank you.
Such a hard question.
I'll add my 2 cents. Sometimes, and this sounds a little nutty, sometimes I want to have a baby just so I can have like a real excuse to not do anything other than have a baby. Yes. Like, no one expects anything else from me. I just want to cuddle and breastfeed and like have sleepless nights. Sure, I don't care because then I just gonna go to sleep whenever I go to, like, there are times where I just want to be a mom.
The first baby, I was like, no, I'm a mom who can do it all. The second baby, I was like, I have a baby. I
can't come.
I used his card even when I just forgot.
Yeah.
Like
Totally. I lied yesterday. Oh my God, I got to pick him up. He threw up at school. I just can't make it.
they
God
called
forbid
school
I have a
called
baby.
school called
School
school
I'm on my way.
called.
So sorry. Gotta go. Oh man, too bad. Babysitter called out. Can't make it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to that question, and I know it's like easier said, but like just enjoy it.
Oh,
Because it's so intense right now, and then it's done. I also think that speaks to the greater conversation of the fact that motherhood is not valued enough, and the work it takes to be a mom is not valued enough, that we feel like we're supposed to do something else because being a mom is not enough. And that's not true. Yeah.
no, we need 2 years off.
Yes.
We need 2 years off.
I did not feel like myself until about 2 years in. Then I was like, oh, my brain is coming back. My hormones are balancing. I can really like put thoughts and words and strategy together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I can do something. But I know it's easier said than done. Just try to enjoy it. It's very cliche and it's very true. It goes by so fast. I look at pictures of my son and I'm like, you were just a mush.
That was the mush.
Why are you not a mush?
I love the mush. And also, okay, the other thing I never thought about
Yeah.
was because I was an only child and my family was weird. I never thought about family and like building that and like feeling. You talked about this in one of your, like just not being alone and like you have your
Yes.
family. Like
Yes.
I was like, whoa, I get to build this family that I never had.
Yeah.
And I get to have that. And like,
Yes.
I also never thought about dying, but that's like that's a real,
About it often.
I think about it all the time now.
Yeah.
I think about it all the time now, but before when I was like invincible 30-year-old, 28-year-old, whatever, I never thought about it. And now when I have kids, I'm like, oh my, like these are my memories. This is my family. This is like my legacy. This is my 50s. This is my 60s. Like it's like you're investing in that right now. And it's like,
I like that. You're investing in it.
yeah.
It's
just
worth the investment.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Enjoy it. And if you're like Puno and you archive and you don't delete Instagram posts,
I do.
it doesn't look like you do.
All some weird stuff.
I went all the way back.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I
To the
think-
parrot?
It's not even a parrot, no. It's like, I think November of
I love this. The investigator.
November
That's a
2012.
Scorpio thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to get to the bottom of a thing. Every time. An hour later, November 2012 is the last post that I saw. Do you know what it was?
I think it was on the beach, maybe?
No, it was around a beachy time, though. It was you wearing a horse chessman head in a bathing suit.
Yes.
And that was the start of it all.
That was the start of it all.
And
Yeah.
I love that way to kick things off. I
Yeah.
love the fact that you keep so many memories and you keep them available.
Yeah, I feel like one of the ways that I even documented was on that spreadsheet. But like I would write about like what happened, just milestones wise, just because it was like at the time I knew already I was pregnant. So I like knew I was like, I don't remember what happened. So I need to just remember this so I could tell my future self this. But like even some little documentations are like me like writing notes to myself and things like that. But like if you are an artist or creative in that way, like feel like it helps sometimes to even document for the sake of it,
Yeah.
just because I don't know, you never know.
You never know.
You just never
100%. I think that kind of goes back to that point of trying to make it just so like you have the taste and so you want it to be this thing, and I know because I do it.
Right.
But something I found really helpful and easy and accessible was just photo booth on my MacBook. I just would do the photo booth and I would just talk to photo booth.
Wow.
You know, about what was happening. I started when I was pregnant. Sergeant, you made me so sick today. Oh my God. All I could eat was a cracker. I threw up water. I just would talk, and then I would dance on the photo booth, and I would do all of these things. And eventually they found their way into like they took new form and new life into work that I wanted to share. Some stuff I don't want to share, but I got it, right?
But you also practice.
I practice.
You practice documenting.
Yes.
And
Yes.
talking and like formulating what you're thinking.
Completely.
So cool. And then also your kids are documenting their conversation.
Yeah. So just press record. It like literally just press record. That's
You
how
don't need
this
to use
started.
it. You don't need to use it.
You don't have to use it. Just press record. Have no pressure. Have no expectation, and then let it be what it's gonna be.
Or like if it's like, or if it's like, if you're a painter or whatever, just like, okay, let's use carrots and like put it on a
Yes,
piece of paper.
carrots.
Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows?
Who knows?
Let's just fuck around.
Yeah, let's fuck around.
You know, let's just fuck around. Who know? I really appreciate you.
Oh my gosh, it was so fun. Thank you guys for
Thank you.
listening to me chat. Yeah.
What's my camera? What's my camera? This
All
one.
three of
This
them.
one. I know. Give me.
Live now at Line LA. PCD.
Thank you so much, cool moms, and until next time.
So
That's when you clap. That's when you clap. Yeah.
It was just so sexy. I lost my mind.
Not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.